2 weeks after, Baba called me and said, your application was refused. To fly from, I had to, did I fly? I can't remember. I think I took a bus. So one cool afternoon like that, I was at the office, okay?
Life in a world that keeps changing. Think that it's progress you make.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Bube and this is Bube's Corner. Guys, how have you guys been? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Bube. I'm a Nigerian YouTuber living in Canada. I noticed that I don't say this often, but I say in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, okay? So if this is your first time stopping by, you're welcome. Please, if you've not yet subscribed, do also hit the red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if it is helpful, and also comment and ask questions in this comment section below, just below, okay? And yeah, I will try my best to answer your questions. And yeah, let's dive right into the video. So guys, by the title of this video, you already know that I'm about to give you guys gist, okay, like gist, proper gist on my immigration story to Canada. I never really did my immigration story because I didn't find the strength to do it all this time that I've been creating content. It wasn't really a victorious ending, you know, by the time I was doing this video. And all the while I've been in Canada, so yeah, that was why I didn't do it. But now I think I found the strength. I feel that a lot of people are also might be in my situation. So I mean, what a way, this is just my own little way for us to help each other, to support each other, and yeah, you know, just empower each other, right? So first of all, from from what you've already seen, yes, I had one application refused and I have one application withdrawn. So I've had my fair share in this immigration story. Okay. Actually, my Canada immigration story started properly in the year 2019. Okay. And how did it start? Before 2019, I've always told myself, oh, I would like to go abroad, I want to study abroad. And my then boyfriend, who is now my husband, like I met him and then he kept on asking me like, oh, what's your, you know, plans for the future? And then I'm like, well, yeah, right now, because at the time he met me I was still schooling, you know, I'm like, oh, right now I just want to finish my degree, work some more, save up some money, and then move to the abroad. You know, which was, he was okay, yeah, fine, that's, you know, really good. So but all the while we were talking, I didn't already know that he was already a permanent resident here in Canada until he proposed, and then I said yes, and then he was like, oh, I'm a permanent resident of Canada. I'm like, oh wow, yay. So you know, that was how we started our journey, right? So after I got married to my husband, or after we got married, he had to travel to Canada, I mean, for the first time, because he basically got his PR, and he had to come here for the first time to, you know, settle in, get a job. So that happened between the ending of 2019, which was like around September. So he had to, so from September till the next year, 2020, he had to settle in and get a job before he started applying for the spousal PR. Now, mind you, before then, while we were still dating, we were like, okay, we didn't want to be apart. We did not want to be apart. So he suggested that, okay, why don't we just do a visiting visa for you? So that, this was in 2019. So we applied for the visiting visa. That was my first time going to the Lagos VFS, getting my biometrics done and all of those stuff. So we applied for it and went through all the processes, the biometrics and everything, filled out the forms, and then we submitted. 2 weeks after, Baba called me and said, your application was refused. And I'm like, hey God, I mean, like my initial reaction was, what? Like, God, because all my life I've liked to believe that I am that one person that God has been so faithful to. Like, sometimes like when things are hard for people to get, it's quite easy for me to get. Like, I carry that grace, you know. I mean, like, I also try to speak to God about it, like whenever I'm going through a difficult situation. Like, this is not like my grace, the grace you gave me, God, like, is quite different. Okay, and this is not to say that any other person out there doesn't have grace. We all have the individual grace that God has given us. Okay, but this is my personal experience and my story. Okay, so I'm like, how can I, like, my very first application or visa application get refused? Like, God, this is not what we talked about. Okay, this is not your plans and purposes for me. So why? What's happening? You know, so I was really devastated. Now what was the reason for refusal? They refused me on the grounds that I do not have enough economic ties, and then I don't have enough what's it called, proof of funds, you know, something like that. Because I applied like, oh, like as if I'm coming to Canada, like I didn't have any husband or anything, I just want to come to Canada and take a tour to all the nice places that they have, you know. That was how I applied. But apparently they said I don't have enough economic ties back home, and I do not have the proof of funds. So whatever salary I was earning at that point in Nigeria was not enough for them to issue me a visitor visa. Now fast forward to February 2020, we applied for the spousal PR. Now my husband is already here, right? So we went through the processes of applying. We applied. So by the time we heard from them, now when we applied, we didn't really hear from them up until September 2020. That was when we heard from them telling us that our application was received in April of 2020. And a few days after that, my husband was approved as a sponsor, and we started waiting. Now we waited all through 2020. Nothing came. No medical instruction was received until April 2021. We got a medical instruction letter. So I had to fly did I fly? I can't remember. I think I took a bus. I had to take a bus from Anambra to Lagos. Okay, I had to take permission from work. So I took permission from work and I boarded the bus from Anambra to Lagos. Now I did my medicals with Q Life. So if you're Nigerian and you're doing this process, you already know that Canada has only two, as of then, I don't know about right now, had only 2 approved hospitals for their medical. So it's either you use IOM or you use Q Life. Now I use Q Life because it's more like the private hospital, and a lot of people have good reviews about it, right? So that was what I used. Now after that, after my medicals, of course I went back home to Anambra. So while I was in Anambra, you know, of course, you know, like when you're in this whole Canada journey, you enter a lot of groups, you meet people, maybe you comment on all of those, because mostly Indians make this type of, you know, chant. Like if you want to check like the spousal PR timeline for people, once you type it, the first people you will see are Indians. So I think I made a comment on one Indian video asking for timeline, right, or about something, and then this beautiful lady, her name is Chineye. She has a YouTube channel, you can go check her out. So her name is Chineye Abba on YouTube, Chineye Abba. So Chineye chatted me. I'm like, hey babes, what's up? I'm also in this process. From there we exchanged numbers and we became friends. We started talking. So one cool afternoon like that, I was at the office, okay, and this babe sent me a message that like her application was approved. I mean, meanwhile, yeah, she has done medical, she has done everything that she needs to do, right? And she told me that, and she was still waiting for the spousal PR, for her application to be approved. And I'm like, so she sent me a message, she was like, babe, yay, I've gotten my passport. Like, it was really surprising to me. I'm like, God, what happened? Like, I had to call her. And then she was like, oh no, it wasn't the other application. We had to apply for another visitor visa application. I'm like, okay. She was like, babes, you have to do this. I mean, people are actually doing it. I have another friend of mine that is doing it right now. I mean, it took me just 1 week for them to, approve this visa. And I'm like, hey, please tell me all the gist. And, so she told me. So apparently this visitor visa was created specifically for, spouses that maybe they are married and they are passed because their PR is yet to be approved and they were now living in different countries, right? So this is a way to bring them together. So now this visa, as I was saying, it was like brought out for people that are in this situation, like they are married but they can't be together because the application is yet to be approved, or the application is taking longer time. Now it's called visitor visa under the family reunification class, something like that. So now if you're applying for this visa, you must have already had an ongoing PR application process like going on for you. I don't know if that's tautology, but yeah, you must have had an application going, but you are yet to receive an approval message for this application. So now if you are to apply for this visa, you are going to apply for visitor visa under dual intent. Now the reason why it is dual intent is because you already have an application going on for you, a PR application, but it's taking longer time, but you want to mate with your spouse. That is why you're applying for the second visitor visa. I hope I'm making sense right now. So that was what I did. So I had to tell my husband about it. After back and forth, we agreed that okay, let's do this, right? So we applied, and when it comes to the form, I'll try and get the link and put it down below for people that their spouses are here and they are in Nigeria or any part of the country or any part of the world you are, and this is actually for you. If you already have an application going on but it's taking too much time, you can actually apply and come to Canada to stay with your spouse, and you don't have to wait for too long. Now this process took me 1 month. For Nayesh, it took her a week, but mine, it took me 1 month. So I don't know what the timeline is right now, but I trust and believe that it is faster than the PR process. Okay, so that doesn't mean that you have to cancel your other PR application. That one is still going to be going through. It's going to be in process, but this other one is just a way for you guys to stay together, because if there is one thing, staying apart, that we all know that it's really, really, really hard. Staying apart, I mean, as a newlywed, or not even newlywed, as someone that you're married and you're apart, maybe the husband and the kids, or maybe the wife and the kids are in back home and the husband is in Canada, I mean, it's really, really hard, right? So I think this is a better way for you guys to actually come together and reunify. So that's basically what the visa encouraged. I'm going to try and find a link to it and put it in my description box, so that if you're in this category, you can easily just apply for your spouse, or you guys can just apply for your spouse and for the kids on your dependents, and then you can be in Canada sooner than you expect, right? Because to be honest, I didn't quite expect I was going to be in Canada that soon. So now we started this. When she told me about this, it was already when was this? it was May. So yeah, it was May. So that was when I started. Or was it May? Was it? So she told me in May, but then I started the application in June, maybe late June. So of course we filled all the forms. Now when there is a part of the form that asks you what is your purpose of visit, you know, at that point, at that place, you write COVID, like, so there is a drop down, so you choose COVID-19. So now if you choose it, it's like a code for them to know that, okay, there is an application going on for this person, but because the PR application is taking too much time due to COVID, you know, this person is seeking for an you know, a more reasonable route to take, or a more faster route to take, which is the visitor visa under the family reunification class. So you have to choose that drop down. That drop down is called COVID-19, and that is under what your purpose of visit is, right? Now for the other part, there is a place you have to choose other. I have to go through, I have to make some research to know if this is still in place, because after COVID-19 a lot of things have happened. The Afghanistan stuff happened, now the Ukraine stuff is happening, so I don't know what the code is right now, but as of then it was COVID-19. Okay, so this was what we did, and of course we just every other requirement, which was so there was no really like much requirement, because most of the things that would be needed you already submitted in your PR. Okay, so yeah, that was just it. And a little over 2 weeks and a half, my application got approved. Yeah, my application got approved, and that was how I came to Canada. So my application got approved, and I was asked to submit my passport. Now I submitted my passport to Ghana, right? So I submitted my passport to Ghana and did all the processes, and before the end of the month my passport was with me. I can remember that day vividly, like I was at work, and then FedEx, was it DHL? Was it FedEx? It was DHL. So DHL called me. I'm like, oh, we have a package outside, you know, you have a package outside. And I'm like, yay. Then I ran out and like there I saw this guy with a motorcycle and, you know, his courier stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm the one, please, can I have my passport? Can I have my passport, please? I was so happy, you know. So I called my husband and I told him that, yay, it's finally here, you know. So that was how basically I came to Canada. So by August, that was when I came to Canada. Okay, and this is where I am right now. Okay, my application started, like I said, my first application started in 2019. Now the spousal PR I applied was in 2020. So now I came to Canada in August 2021. So I announced, because of course when you're coming into Canada, you will meet with a CSBA officer, which is a cyber what's it called, a border service officer, that will ask you, what are you here for? And I'm like, oh, I'm here to visit my spouse. They said okay. They took my passport and they stamped my passport, and it was a 6-month stay. So it was given that after 6 months I should come home. Now this was the reason why I didn't make the video of my coming to Canada, because I've not gotten the permanent resident. I've not gotten that, you know, this thing that can make me stay permanently, you know. So that was why I didn't make the video all this while. But I'm now making it right now, because I feel like it's gonna help somebody in my situation. Not even if you're not here already, for you, and you're still, you know, you're still in Nigeria or whatever country you are, you're separated from your spouse. I think it's important that couples stay together, right? So that is why I'm actually giving out this information. Maybe it will help someone. So since August, I've been here in Canada, and something happened along the line. Some personal issue that I wouldn't want to talk about, our application was withdrawn, right? And after that, now it was withdrawn before my 6 month stay elapsed, right? So let's say it was withdrawn sometime around October last year, so we had to apply, right? Now this is my second I've had my fair share in this whole Canada journey. I have, believe and trust me, I have, you know. So we have to apply for the second one. Now I want to make something clear. The withdrawal has nothing to do with the government, has nothing to do with IRCC or immigration. It was just something personal, right? So it wasn't just because I just want to clarify that, so people don't think like, oh, does it mean that if I come to Canada as a visitor visa under the family reunification class, my other application gets withdrawn? No, that's not what I'm saying. Like I said, it was personal, nothing to do with the government. Okay, so after our application was withdrawn, we had to reapply for a new one. Now mind you, if you're applying for your spouse outside of Canada, right, it is called the outland application. But if you're applying for your spouse inside of Canada, like if your spouse is already here and you apply from inside Canada, that means you're doing the inland application. And that was what we now did last year, October. We applied for the inland application, and because we applied for the inland application, I mean, I didn't have to go home, right? I didn't have to go back home to Nigeria because I still have another application running, right? After my 6 months elapsed, I now had to stay back because I had an application running, which is now the inland one. And now with this inland one, you can apply for an open work permit, which can allow you to work, you know, anywhere at all, depending on your, you know, career and your experience or what you want to do. So that is where we are right now. I mean, right now I'm still in the waiting phase. I am still waiting for IRCC to get back to me by the time I made this video. So, and I really I hope that you know, that this video helps someone, you know, help someone, you know, to on their own immigration journey. I mean, if you have any questions for me, I'm going to put my Instagram handle somewhere here or here, or you can ask me any question in the comment section and I'll be, you know, happy to answer if I can. Right? So yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm still in the waiting phase, you know. And another thing I forgot to say is, right now, because we did the inland application, I don't really have to go back to Nigeria unless if I want to. But what it means is that my stay has been extended, or like I'm on implied status, so on maintained status. So I'm not really out of status. I'm still legally allowed to stay in Canada, but it means that I am now on maintained status or implied status. So but what it means for me and any other person in this situation is that you are under a visitor visa status application and you don't have to work, like your life stands still. You can't really do anything, right? Unless you're a content creator like me, and then you can create content. But aside that, you can't really work, like have any paid job, you know. Yeah. So I guess that is my story, and yeah, that was how I actually came from Nigeria to Canada, you know. So, and being in this phase right now, trust me, it is hard. I mean, it's just the fact that they say social media will solve your problem, right? But you don't want to know what goes on behind the scene. It is crazy. It is crazy, you know, having to stay at home, not doing anything, you know, seeing other people's life progressing, but yours is standing still. Trust me, baby, it is hard. But I mean, at the end of the day, most people, what they want is just to reunify with their spouse and stay with their spouse. I don't have to deal with that long distance marriage problems, you know, because a lot of things can, like, if it's really hard, you know, for people that are, you know, what's it called, that are practicing long distance marriage. So yeah, so this is a way for you to come and stay with your spouse, and you guys can start your life till your main application gets approved. So yeah, I think I've come to the end of this video. I think I've spoken too much, but yeah, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, like, comment, share to someone that you know that the person is in this situation. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're a Christian, like, you know that God is everything, you know, keep believing in him that he will come through for us. You know, he's gonna come through for us. Amen. So, you know, that's that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Mwah.